Good morning.
Good morning.
What a wonderful day for Gustavus Adolphus College. I welcome you to this dedication of the Warren and Donna Beck Academic Hall. This is an exciting year and an exciting weekend for the college. Our 150th academic year is a significant milestone. It's a significant milestone for any institution. Just as it is a significant occasion as we open this new state-of-the-art building, the first on the campus, the first academic building on the campus in 20 years. Last evening, we officially opened the sesquicentennial year, and many of you were there with a dinner in Lund Center. There were many exciting announcements, including announcing the campaign Gustavus, with a total of raising $150 million in the next 4 years. We also announced that in honor of our sesquicentennial, today has been declared Gustavus Adolphus Day in the city of St. Peter by Mayor Tim Strand, and Gustavus Adolphus Day in the state of Minnesota by Governor Dayton. We also received a copy of the speech that was given by Congressman Tim Walz that was read on the floor of the United States House of Representatives, recognizing Gustavus's sesquicentennial, and a congratulatory greeting from U.S. Senator Al Franken. And we have a resolution from the Minnesota House of Representatives signed by our own state representative, and as many of you know, a faculty member at Gustavus, an individual that lives in this building when he's not living in the State House, and that is Terry Morrow. Professor Morrow, thank you for that. And all of these are on display here in the atrium, right along the side, and I hope you'll have a chance to look at those. We thank these and other government officials who have sent their words of congratulations to us. So some of them are here today, and I would like to introduce them if I may. I'm not sure, I didn't see Mayor Strand. Is he here? Or Todd Prafke, the city manager. I know they were going to try to make it. There may be some things that they had to go to. But I do know that Professor Terry Morrow is here, our state representative. Would you please stand to be recognized? As I stand here looking at this building, many things come to mind. The years and years of the tradition of this college and what it has meant to so many of us and what it has meant to so many of you. The alums that stand here before me or are seated here understand the importance of the academic program at Gustavus. And we'll say a little bit more about the Becks later, but they are the individuals that thought of the academic program and how we could provide for faculty and staff and students as they get a great education in this building. I said the other evening at an event that it was reminded when I came in here of a trip that my wife and I took. Chris and I went to Machu Picchu and saw the Inca tradition and heritage and culture and how buildings are built and how walls are built. And that reminded me of a story that I read from the chair of the board of Porsche. And he was asked, how do you look at what you're doing with the company and growing the company? He said, you know, it's like stonemasons that are working on a project. And he said, the story is told that there were 3 stone cutters working, and someone stopped to see them and said to the first stone cutter, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm breaking rocks. That's what you do. I've been asked to do this, and that's what I'm doing." And he asked the second stone cutter, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm building this wall. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm building this wall." And he asked the third stone cutter what he was doing, and he was cutting the stones. He said, "I'm building a cathedral." And I think that's what's happening. You have to put the first stone in place. And the Becks have done some of that. Warren reminded us of that the other evening when we were talking. And I hope you can grasp the importance of a facility like this for an institution that is right now one of the top liberal arts colleges in the country. We have faculty that are just outstanding, and students who are, we hope, continuing to break down the doors to get in. The largest first-year student group in the history of the college, 762. We announced that last night. So as we think about this dedication, that's where I wanted to start. For you alums, as you walk around this campus today, understand that people have gone before us that have provided. It is now our responsibility, and we are given a sacred trust to help the future generations of students as we prepare this institution for even a greater tomorrow. We thank the many dedicated people involved with this project as it evolved from a dream to a vision, from a vision to a design, from a design through construction, and from construction to space for teaching and learning. It's impossible for me to thank each and every person individually, yet there are a few groups of people and individuals that I do wish to acknowledge. First, we thank the members of the 5 academic departments, now housed here in this building. The Department of Communication Studies, Economics and Management, History, Psychology, and Sociology and Anthropology. You will have a book that you can see how the departments are, where they're located, and how you might walk the building to see the labs and to see the classrooms and the spaces. We thank you, faculty, for dreaming and planning on how to make this new space a reality, and for all the ways that Gustavus students experience, and their experiences will be enhanced by your teaching and those working here in the new facility. We especially thank Dr. Jennifer Ohle, chair of the psychology department, who has served as the faculty liaison for this project, sometimes a thankless job. She spent countless hours working with her faculty colleagues, and she would be the first to say that everyone worked on this project together. But it does take some leadership, and you provided that. You worked with the contractors, you worked with the Gustavus staff, answering questions, troubleshooting, and encouraging all of us to make the building all that we wanted it to be. Dr. Ohle, please stand so we can thank you. Now we acknowledge the work of the architects from BWBR, and especially John Stricata. I've known John for a number of years. And when I first came to Gustavus, I saw the beginning drawings of this, and we sat down and talked and how we might do it. And I said the most important thing is to get the faculty involved as they had started to do the programming and to find out exactly what we needed. And John, you and your team did a fantastic job of listening, of thinking about this place. Buildings are not edifices that just stand. They breathe, they live, and things happen in them. And in an academic community, that thing is teaching and engagement and faculty meeting with students. When these chairs aren't in here, there are chairs for students to sit in comfort and to lounge and to walk through. Chris and I walk through here at times in the evenings, and students will be studying, and how important that space is for our students. John, would you please stand? And if any of your partners are here, would they wave their arms and say hello? It's been a thrill for all of us to watch the building go up. In fact, I talked to an alum just last night, and he said he walked by here almost every day, and he saw the hole, and then the building start to be constructed. We're grateful for Kraus Anderson, led by Bruce Engelsman. Bruce, thank you so much for what you have done and all the contractors that you work with, the many subcontractors that were on time. We have a building that is on time. We broke ground in late April, and we were in this building by the late April of 2010, not 2009. And we were in this building by the start of the academic year. Bruce, would you please stand so we can thank you, and also anyone here else. Wave your hand. What may be less apparent in the design and construction of this building is the environmental sustainability. I want to thank BWBR and Kraus Anderson for working with us to reach at least the gold rating in LEED. And I will announce now, we think, when all is said and done, and all the paperwork is done, and all the tests are taken, and everything is readied for the study, we will be a platinum LEED building here on this campus. That's important. These students deserve it. They understand the importance of conserving for the future. And everything we can do to help in that way is something that makes this a better world. A major factor in helping us reach the sustainability goals is the fact that we received a generous gift from the parents of 3 Gustavus graduates whose significant contribution allowed us the purchase of photovoltaic and solar panels. If you see the building up here, you see those things. You know, people talk about, well, do they look nice? They look beautiful. They look beautiful. And the more we can have those, in fact, their gift will provide us opportunities to put the same thing on top of Lund and on the Student Center. Because we're going to drive as much conservation into this project and this campus as we possibly can. We'll have a dashboard right over here. If there's anything that wasn't done, this is about the only thing that didn't finally get done because it wasn't programmed. There's so many things that have to go into it. That dashboard will tell us on a daily basis how much energy we're conserving, and you'll get the chance to see that. Finally, I want to thank other members of the Gustavus community who have worked very hard, tireless hours to ensure that this building was completed on time, and I must say on budget. And I ask them to stand and remain standing until all are introduced. First, I want to introduce Ken Westfald, not a stranger to many of you, the person who heads up the institution's finance office and is treasurer of the college. Ken, thank you for what you're doing. Next, Warren Wunderlich, the director of the physical plan and a person who day to day worked with the contractors and made sure that we were staying on time and on task. And 2 members of his staff, Bruce Volek is not here, and Bob Petrick is not here. But we want to thank them too, Warren, and please pass on to them how important it was. And finally, Jim Donche. I think Jim is here. If not, Jim is the person that worked with all the staff on the energy conservation and making sure we were doing the right thing. So let's thank these folks. Finally, I want to thank Bruce Arsvald, and I don't think Bruce is here this morning, and the whole technology services team. This building has state-of-the-art technology equipment in it. Ensuring that the equipment functions properly can result in significant challenges. We thank the GTS team for helping us to make this building run so smoothly. As I mentioned earlier, the Beck Academic Building is a great place for teaching and for learning. And to share more on how this building will impact the faculty and the students, you're going to hear in a little bit from Dr. Ohle, and you'll hear from one of our outstanding students, Chloe Radcliffe. And I'll have a chance to say a few words about her later. But I've asked Provost Braun to kick off this whole thing about the academic side of the building, and I'll have him come up and he'll introduce Dr. Ohle and talk a little bit about that, and then I'll come back and introduce Chloe. So, our new provost, Dr. Mark Brown.
Good morning. Thank you. I'd like you to take a minute to look around. Go ahead and turn around, look around. What do you see? Light, steel, plaster, Wood, tile. As beautiful as it is, that's not what's being dedicated today. What's being dedicated is commitment. Commitment to teaching and learning, to leadership and vision. On behalf of the faculty and the academic staff, I would especially like to thank Warren and Donna Beck, the entire Gabbard Beck family, for your vision, your leadership, your dedication, your generosity over the years to this institution. I'd like to thank all the other donors, including George and Shirley Torrey, for whom we will be naming this atrium, those who have made their gifts and those whose gifts are yet to come as we help complete this important project. This is, as President Ohle said, indeed a highly significant step forward for the academic program at Gustavus. This is the first new building on the academic side in 20 or 25 years. As President Ohle said, it houses 5 departments. What he didn't mention is that 3 of those 5 departments are among the largest at Gustavus. What that means is that more than half the students at this institution will take their major from one of the departments housed in this building. This building has immediate, powerful impact. Just last night, at our sesquicentennial celebration, I said that word just to prove I could say it. One of the professors who works in this building told me it has already changed the way that he engages with the students because of the technology and because of just a small thing like the offices being away from the classroom so that you can engage in advising a student without the hustle and bustle of the hourly class changes disturbing your conversations. So well laid out, so well thought out, collectively and collaboratively between the faculty and the architects. In addition to the generous classroom space, the beautiful office space, which is finally worthy of the excellent students and faculty that we attract to Gustavus, this building features a lot of specialized spaces, including teaching and research labs for our neuroscience program, a large working space for our nationally ranked speech team, a state-of-the-art digital arts lab, which will also house student media such as KGSM Radio and Gustavus TV. I invite you to tour the building at your leisure when we're done here with this celebration. As the president said, the building is significant in another way. We expect it to achieve LEED Platinum certification, and I would especially like to thank the director of our Johnson Center for Environmental Innovation, Dr. Jim Donche, for his vision and hard work toward this goal. You know, it was interesting to go back to the old correspondences to see who was on the original building committee, which I co-chaired 7 years ago, back in the summer and fall of 2004. And it reminds me to thank all of those who've worked all along the way to help make this building a reality. I especially want to thank the faculty and the department chairs in the 5 departments which are housed here. Of course, I too want to thank Ken Westfall, Warren Wunderlich for their work. All of that planning culminated in the courageous commitment of the President and the Board of Trustees in 2009 to proceed with the construction of this building. Allow me too to thank those who sometimes don't get thanked. The administrative support staff in the building, the custodial and the physical plant folks who work so hard behind the scenes to keep things running every day. Finally, I'd like to thank Dr. Jennifer Ackel too. Jennifer Ackel is a professor of psychology, and as President Ohle said, she served tirelessly this past summer to help make the move into the building as seamless and well organized as possible. Please welcome Dr. Jennifer Ackel.
Thank you. In the autumn of 1943, 2 years subsequent to the destruction of the Houses of Parliament during World War II, Prime Minister Winston Churchill addressed his nation. Among his comments concerning the initiation of his country's efforts to rebuild, he remarked, "First we shape our buildings, then they shape us." Our circumstances clearly bear no resemblance, thankfully, to the conditions and consequences that prompted Churchill's remark. And yet, as we reflect on the gift of this beautiful new building, Warren and Donna Beck Academic Hall, and the possibilities that it affords, the sentiment Churchill expressed is no less apt. First, we shape our buildings, then they shape us. This building has been shaped by many who, in the context of this event, are far too numerous to name. The early design and development has spanned the leadership of several Gustavus presidents, scores of trustees, deans, provosts, vice presidents, and of course numerous faculty and support staff service representatives, all of whom brought to the conversation their dreams, their wishes, their best ideas for shaping a physical space that would provide our community an environment in line with our values and the aspirations that we hold for inspiring the intellectual and scholarly pursuits we desire for our students and that we desire for ourselves. In short, we work to shape an environment that would provide all who use it the opportunity to do their very best work. And when these conversations turned to action, our dreams and ideas were realized by many who have and continue to work tirelessly on our behalf. To those of our on-campus community who spent long hours filling this space with furniture, developing signage, cleaning, installing technology, and moving boxes, we express our deep appreciation and assure you that we take very seriously the responsibility that we bear to ensure that we put to good use all that you have and continue to provide for us. But of course, none of this would be possible without the deep commitment and the active support of current members of the Board of Trustees, President Ohle, Mr. and Mrs. Torrey, and of course, Donna and Warren Beck, whose financial support of this building is really the pinnacle of many, many years of continuous stewardship and unwavering support to this institution. Mr. and Mrs. Beck, you have, with your most recent generosity, demonstrated your commitment to the faculty and your belief in the work that we do. And while my words seem wholly inadequate in expressing our appreciation, please know that my colleagues and I are committed to making the best use of the resources to which you have so generously contributed. The manner in which this building will shape us individually, as teachers, learners, scientists, artists, scholars, and as a community, collectively, remains to be seen, but the stage is set for exciting possibilities. I invite you to observe for yourself the clues that exist in the state-of-the-art classrooms, labs filled with the newest equipment and technology, bright faculty offices, and innovative common spaces that point to this. Indeed, the open layout and various room arrangements throughout are intended to make transparent the energy and the collaboration that takes place within, with the hope that others will be inspired to join. Together as a community and with the help of many friends, we've shaped our building, and only time will tell the manner in which it will shape us. But for faculty and students, Beck Academic Hall is a game changer in the most positive sense. The activities that this building makes possible will transform lives for generations to come, and my colleagues and I are thrilled to be a part of this. We have shaped our building, now it will shape us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ohle, and thank you, Provost Braun. It's very important that we spend time thinking about the faculty and the learning that will go on in this building, and we appreciate all that you're doing for that. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a student that I have grown to appreciate in so many ways in the years we've spent here together. Chloe Radcliffe will provide us with some insights on the impact of the building that the students have here. Last April, Chloe became the first Gustavus student to earn an individual national championship at the American Forensics Association's National Individual Events Tournament when she beat out 165 competitors in the prose interpretation category. Her talents are one of the reasons why the Gustavus Forensics team is now recognized as a top 10 program in the United States. Chris Crock, the director of that program and faculty member, is here today, and an individual that we thank for what he has done and provided for Chloe and all of her teammates. Chloe is from Prior Lake, Minnesota, and has been active in theater and dance, including performing in the production of On Ego that opens this week. In fact, I'm told that the director let you out of your rehearsal this morning to be here for a half hour. Well, we're going to be a little bit longer than that, but you'll get back. Please welcome a wonderful student, an individual that's meant so much to the college in many ways, a true liberal arts student because she's a mathematics major, Chloe Radcliffe.
Thank you. This is such an important event. I can finagle my way out of rehearsal for 45 minutes. I am so honored to speak on behalf of the hundreds of students who already use Beck Hall on a daily basis, and on behalf of the thousands of students who are going to use this hall for decades to come. That's sort of wild to think about. But Beck Hall is already a magnet of activity on campus. It wasn't more than a week before I heard students, myself included, using Beck as a hub on campus, as a true resource. And this space has been such a blessing for us. I come in here every single day. I have class in here, I study in here. My improv comedy troupe that I'm involved in, we practice in a classroom upstairs. And the speech team, the forensics team, with which I am heavily involved, has an incredible headquarters for us to study and to work and to meet and to practice and even just to hang out. And that ability to combine functions, to be a place for students to study, to learn, to meet, and to relax, to lounge in the lovely couches that are in this atrium, is one of Beck Hall's most unique attributes. I think that is an ability that almost no other academic building on campus has. And we as a student body are so grateful to the Becks and to the entire Gustavus community that we have this space. I will always have the greatest affection for the Social Science Center and for the Fine Arts Center, but they weren't places where we wanted to hang out. And this is a place where students want to be. We want to come here late at night, early in the morning, at all hours of the day, and I think that is so crucial on campus. It is remarkable that an environment where students want to hang out and an environment where students come to learn can be the same place.
Now you know why we have a great forensics team. Thank you, Chloe. It's now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Board of Trustees, a person who is doing so much for us. The board, I must say, is the group that really took the challenge. They said when we hadn't done a lot in the fundraising side and all of the other things that were necessary, they took the challenge and said, you know, if we don't raise another dime, the board will pay for this building in total. Well, we're raising a lot of other money. And I'm going to give each of you a chance to be part of that. But Mark Bernardson is a 1971 graduate of the college, and this building, as I said, was made possible because of the Board of Trustees. Mark?
Thank you, President Ohle. We had a dinner here the other evening, and by the way, this is a beautiful event space. Jan Michelitz was trying to figure out how to hold a royal affair in here on 3 levels. But I mentioned then I've got to talk to Jack about where I show up in the program. Thursday night, it was after Pastor Rod Anderson. And I accused him this morning of his Lutherness becoming a Baptist. His prayers are turning into sermons. And today, what does Jack do, or should I blame Barb? I've got to follow a national forensic champion. Anyway, 3 years ago when President Ohle came to Gustavus, we as a board knew that the college needed to complete its strategic planning, find a way to change our dreams into reality, and make significant progress for the aspirations of this great institution. The timing of Commission Gustavus 150 process ultimately set us to position the institution to take full advantage of the excitement and engagement that is generated in our sesquicentennial year. By the way, I practiced about 4 years ago because Bloomington went through its sesquicentennial. One of the Tier 1 recommendations of Commission Gustavus 150 was to build a new academic building. This had been discussed at Gustavus for many years. I wish to thank the Board of Trustees under the able and foresighted leadership of then Chair James Gale for the bold decision to move ahead on the construction of this building with the joint financial commitment from the board and a commitment to raise the funds needed to make this project a reality. The board also knew that to realize the Commission's recommendations, the college would need to launch a comprehensive fundraising campaign. Last evening, as President Ohle said, we announced Campaign Gustavus with a goal of raising $150 million to be achieved by 2015. To continue to advance the mission of Gustavus, we know this campaign is going to require transformational giving from many people, and you have that opportunity. We're so pleased that Warren and Donna Beck have agreed to serve as co-chairs of Campaign Gustavus, and we thank them for providing the lead gift for this campaign, a gift significantly larger than anything in the college's history. The thing is, the wisdom of the third stonemason that President Ohle talks about, it's not just stones, it's not just wood, as Mark Braun talked about. It is not just a wall, it's a cathedral, and a cathedral is not just a building. The building is there for another purpose, and that's to transform, just like a cathedral does, the lives of everyone who enters into it. And as Chloe talked about, that's what this place is all about. I also believe that maybe the only reason that Warren probably wanted to see this building become a reality is he was part of and really drove the master plan for Gustavus with the West Mall. And he really wanted to start seeing it form. And so we really appreciate the foresight. And by the way, that it happened to be an academic building that is central to Gustavus's mission was just that much better. Having active leadership at the college for nearly 30 years, the Becks have supported Gustavus with grace and passion. And those who were there last night heard Bishop Herb Chilstrom talk about his new book. It's all about grace. And you guys are top of the mark when it comes to grace. Thank you so very much. Warren has twice served as chair of the Board of Trustees and was chair of Commission Gustavus 150. Donna was a founding member of the Gustavus Library Association and has served as chair of the GLA board and also held various leadership roles for the Royal Affair. Warren and Donna, thank you for your leadership.
You have heard over the past few minutes the reason why Donna and I have done what we've done. And it is more than just about a building. While this is important for its role in the life of this campus and this college, you witnessed in the people you've heard and in what they have said, what it is that motivates us to do these things. We're pleased also to co-chair Campaign Gustavus. We believe this historic fundraising event will put the college on a firm foundation with the resources needed to fund the strategic initiatives defined by Commission Gustavus 150. As we celebrate the college's sesquicentennial, yeah, I can do it too, Mark. We believe the actions we collectively take over the next few years will strengthen our foundation and will ensure the future of Gustavus beyond its current. Donna and I have been encouraged by the commitment of the faculty, the staff, the trustees, and the administration. We believe that Gustavus is indeed in good hands. We see ourselves as partners in this collective effort. We must all work together to seize the opportunities that we have to build a stronger Gustavus. We are humbled that the Board of Trustees has decided to name this magnificent building in our name, in our honor. We have always tried to lead quietly, but agreeing to have the building named for us would demonstrate to others the importance of their financial support for the future of this college. We invite all of you to focus your sights on building a greater Gustavus. Reflect on what the college has meant to you. Celebrate where the college is today. And dream with us for a greater future. The 3 pillars of Campaign Gustavus speak directly to our future. They are opportunity, teaching and learning, and community. The campaign pillars build upon the mission of this college and its core values. We hope all alumni and friends of the college will join us and be part of this campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark and Warren. You may remember when we broke ground on this building, I made a little joke. I said that, that was in last April. I said, I hope when we open this building, we'll never call it the NAB or the new academic building. Warren and Donna, you've made it possible to call it Beck Academic Hall, and how important that is for us. But there's another couple that's sitting here that I want to acknowledge. Because as you've said to me, it's not about your gift, it's about others supporting this institution. George and Shirley Torrey are individuals that have meant so much to this institution over time. George served on this board. In fact, he told me last night when we introduced the chairs of the board, he actually served on the board while 3 of those individuals were chairs. He had dreams. He talked about the importance of econ and management because he was a graduate of this institution and understands the importance of business. And he said he wanted his resources to go towards helping the faculty teach and the students learn. And so his gift and their gift together will name this atrium the Torrey Atrium. It was a gift of a little over $5 million. And to end this, before we go to our litany of dedication, Warren is and Donna are everything that you've heard. They're humble people and they are very much wanting to stay in the background. But they permitted me last night, and I'm going to take the liberty of sharing today, that it isn't just the largest gift, it's a transformational gift. Their total gift was $16 million. And that says something about the future of this institution. Now, you're not going to see that number in headlines because that's not what we're going to do. But as they said to me, it's important, and as Warren just said to you, it's important that leadership give others an opportunity to give. And for that, we are so grateful. I now want to turn to interim senior chaplain, the Reverend Rodney Anderson, to lead us in the litany, which is in your program. And then we'll have the ribbon cutting, and I'll come up and say a few words before that. Pastor Rod.
In my defense, we do have time to bless and dedicate and pray, right? Yes. We do. And I am going to invite those who are seated to remain seated as I see. I think you might be more comfortable in it. And I invite you all to look up. Again, you can look up more comfortably from the chairs. The light, the sun, the glory of God is here. O Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the light, the sun, the moon, the stars that you established, what are human beings that you are mindful of us, mortals that you care for us? Yet you made us a little lower than the divine and crowned us with your glory and honor. You have given us dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under our feet. Gathered in awe and wonder on this homecoming day in this sesquicentennial year within this magnificent Beck Academic Hall, we give thanks to you, O Lord our God, and to all whose vision, leadership, and dedication have brought this dream to its reality. Creative leaders and architects gathering input to mold and shape its grand design. Generous donors gifting to make it possible. Skilled workers laboring long and hard to build spaces and landscapes. Fashion concrete and steel. Let in light and capture energy. Join conduit and wire, ducts and plumbing to merge hopes and prayers and many parts into a greater whole. Build us into a greater whole community of your designing, O Lord. And gather today together with mission and purpose belonging to leaders, students, faculty, and staff for 150 years already and still counting for decades and centuries into the future. We rejoice that welcoming foyers and inspiring atriums, digital and traditional classrooms, offices for study and collaboration, labs for experimenting and for testing, observation, perception, attention, and interaction will engage learners with teachers, joyfully connecting with each other and with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Connect us with your wisdom and with all truth, O Lord. Blessed and dedicated be this Beck Academic Hall to the building up and edification of the minds of learners and teachers for lives of service and leadership. Bless and dedicate us, O Lord, committing us to one another and calling us with all people to the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace. Amen. O Lord, giver of every good and perfect gift, perfected and redeemed gifts, sacred and sanctified gifts, we lift yet one more prayer of gratitude for all gifts. Faculty gifts and student gifts, board and staff and administration gifts, parent gifts, alumni gifts, and friends gifts. We give you thanks for gifts of time and talent and treasure and timelines and art on walls. For nature and creation that water and warm the earth. For gifts divine, gifts human, gifts of the body, mind, and spirit. Gifts seen and as yet unseen, gifts perceptible and as yet imperceptible. Small gifts and large gifts, all being gifted out of great generosity and gratitude. Signature gifts and lead gifts, and especially the inspiring gifts of Warren and Donna Beck, of the Tories, and of others who now follow and will follow. Gifts that this Beck Academic Hall will keep giving and giving again and again. Gifts from each department in this building and from departments not yet imagined, but that yet may come. Gifts that this college will perpetuate. Gifts, O Lord, for now and for eternity. Bless all gifts. In the name of our Creator, God, our Savior, Son, and our sanctifying Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Rod. Following this dedication around noon, we'll all gather in the large tent near the football field for another celebration of the sesquicentennial and a gathering of alumni and friends of the college. You should have already received a copy of the Beck Hall Guide. Feel free to walk through this building following the cutting of the ribbon. And many of the faculty are here to help answer questions and share with you the excitement of this building. Finally, I call your attention to the easels that are behind me. One has an artist rendering of the donor wall that will be completed in time for the dedication of the West Mall at our next homecoming celebration. We wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to get on that wall. Also, I hope you noticed that the stainless steel time capsule that is behind me. Following this weekend's activities, we will take that capsule and fill it with all the memorabilia and the activities of this weekend and place it here in the cornerstone, which is in this vestibule. That it will be an exciting time when we pull that stone out and place it in the back. You are now invited to gather at the doors, gather here and around the podium. Those of us who are participating in the ribbon cutting will go behind the ribbon, and the chaplain will stand on one side and the student will stand on the other near the bows, and we'll have Dr. Ackle and Dr. Braun, and we'll have the Becks, and we'll have the Tories up there, and we'll cut that ribbon. Want the Becks right here. Shirley, you stand there. Come on over here. All right. Okay. Mark, you're over here. Okay.
I'm sure you can find it now.
And Jennifer, you there? Yeah, and you can just now put it over top. Okay, now wait a second there. Get a hold. Get your hands on it. Get your hands in your. Okay, not in between. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go.